Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Donation with Gift of Hope. I'm your host, Olivia Fox, and I am a Community Outreach Specialist for Gift of Hope Organ and Tissue Donor Network. This is an interactive call-in show where you can call in and ask us any questions that you might have about organ and tissue donation. Each week, I will feature an expert guest that is either in the medical industry, a part of Gift of Hope, or somehow affected by the process of organ and tissue donation. So you can catch us each week streaming live online if you don't live in the city of Chicago, where you can watch on Channel 21. You can catch us streaming live at cantv.org/hotline. Again, that's cantv.org/hotline. Join the conversation with us. I'm not Georgia Doty, Community Outreach. We are Gift of Hope, but you can reach us at the same number listed right below. It's 312-738-1060. Again, that's 312-738-1060. This evening, I'm so excited to invite a very special guest who is actually the Community Outreach Coordinator for Gift of Hope Organ and Tissue Donor Network, and my colleague, Omen Shaheen. Welcome, Omen.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome.
Thanks
for coming to Let's Talk Donation.
Thank you for having me.
Good. I'm so glad to see you here. We work together on a daily basis. Omen works very closely with all of our volunteers, which we now actually call ambassadors. And he's here this evening to talk to us about our new Ambassadors for Hope program. So Omen, I'll let you introduce yourself for a second.
Hi. Well, hi, everybody. Again, thank you for having me here, Olivia. I'm really happy to have to be here, a part of the show. I've been with Gift of Hope for a little over a year now, and started out as a community outreach specialist as well, reaching out our communities to become organ and tissue donors. After a couple months, I took the role of becoming a volunteer coordinator for Gift of Hope, which has given me the privilege of working with both our donor families as well as our recipient families to invite them and encourage them to go out into the community to engage themselves with others, to also help them invite our community members to register as organ donors.
Awesome. So it sounds like you work with a wide variety of people, and it's definitely all over our service area. So as I've mentioned in previous weeks, Gift of Hope is responsible for coordinating life-saving organ and tissue donation throughout our service area, which includes the top 3/4 of Illinois and into Northwest Indiana, which is now just Lake County we're responsible for. So if you live in any of those areas, if you have been affected any way by this process of organ and tissue donation, if you're a recipient, if you're a donor family, if you work in a hospital, if you work in a dialysis center, Omen would love for you to come and volunteer with us. In my role, I'm responsible for identifying different places in the community in which we should outreach, and then we work really closely with Omen and his team of ambassadors to really get people out there to share their story, because I actually just heard a little phrase which I think about all the time, and it's really the power of the personal narrative. So that's why we talk a lot about ambassadors really being part of the process, having been affected by the process, so that you can really share your personal story, because I know I can say for myself, and Omen's been out in the field too, that's really what kind of breaks down barriers sometimes when people are not too sure or not too fond of organ and tissue donation. So do you want to talk about maybe some opportunities that we've had in the past in which volunteers can participate, and then maybe we can go a little bit into our ambassadors program and tell people about the different segments or buckets that we kind of have in which people can outreach.
Absolutely. So different event opportunities that we've participated at in the past have been out throughout different community fairs, at church events, health fairs. We've also participated at different business event opportunities where we've actually set up a small table setup and just reached out to people coming into a local grocery store, as well as participated at big events such as the one we participated at this year, which is the Chicago Marathon. So different events that we participated that allows us the opportunity to really extend this opportunity to the masses throughout the city of Chicago, as well as throughout the world. I mean, just thinking about an event such as the Chicago Marathon, you're really communicating that information to people from all over the world that come in, that come by your table and speak to you for a quick moment. So outside of that, I mean, we've, churches are big for us, as well as every no event. Well, what I mean is no event is ever too big or too small for us to really have the opportunity to engage with the communities.
Exactly. Yeah. So as Omen mentioned, we sponsor things a lot. We're out in the community. There's not really anything that we turn down unless it's just a timing conflict. We always say that anything going on in the community is a good opportunity for us to share the message of Gift of Hope. Because as we know, it's not about getting people to necessarily register, which we always want. We would love you to register on your driver's license, but it's really just about bringing that awareness to the community and educating people about what it means to be a donor and how it really is affected in our community. Because I know, you know, in both of our communities, in minority communities, there's a lot of need, but there's also a lot of fear and stigma about the process. So we have also found that it's important for people to be in those communities sharing that message that look like that community. So when I go somewhere on the South Side, I'm really able to connect with those people and sharing the story of my mother. Whereas if Omen might go to a Latino event, he's really able to connect with that Spanish language and maybe telling the story even of his family and how they've dealt with organ and tissue donation. So it really just definitely makes a difference that the people from the community are hearing this message from the people in their community. And that's why we asked you, if you're interested, please reach out and volunteer with us. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys my email address as I offer every week, if we can get the overhead working. If not, I'll just read it to you. It's ofox@giftofhope.org. You can always reach out to me if you are interested in working with Omen and being an ambassador for Gift of Hope. I'll get you connected right to him. You can also find us at giftofhope.org. We have a volunteer tab in which I will show you in a few minutes how to register as a volunteer, and that will also get sent directly to Omen. From there, you'll be trained through a process where we teach you everything that you know that you might encounter out in the community, and then from there you can go out and be an ambassador for us. And one more thing I also want to say is we were just having a conversation with a young lady in the green room, and she was saying that her family had a story of donation, but they were really busy volunteering with another organization. And I said, I totally understand that. That's fine. And the cool thing about Gift of Hope is that you don't necessarily have to come to our events to be an ambassador for us. Anybody that is sharing this message of organ and tissue donation is being an ambassador for us. If you're telling your personal story, the power of the personal narrative, again, just telling your story might change someone's mind that never thought about organ and tissue donation before. When I tell my mom's story, or when someone tells the story of their loved one that was a donor, and how much that really changed the end of a tragic story. Yes. It really makes a difference for people. So I think Omen would agree that any opportunity to share this message is a good one. So I think we're going to talk a little bit more about our Ambassadors for Hope program, sure. And I'll throw it back to Omen.
Okay. Well, with our over the last year, I'll share with you a little story. As I started out in early last year, I recall just being out at different events and always hearing the great conversation about the multitudes of volunteers that we had within our organization. I always found it, I always wanted to see how it was that I could work with more of them at events or the different events and opportunities that I was partaking in. But to some extent, I wasn't able to reach out to the community because I wasn't part of this role at that moment. But as I came to know this role even more and became a part of it, we decided, we knew that there was some fixing that needed to be done within our organization and our volunteer program. So we went ahead and we restructured our program, and together along with our team, we were able to come out with different opportunities for our ambassadors. Some of those opportunities have become known as our ambassadors to cities. We know that on many occasions our volunteers don't necessarily want to be a part of the community when they're out at events, but they like to do they like to outreach the community through other means as well. And as Olivia touched point on earlier, is that we want to give our ambassadors the opportunity to really fit in wherever they feel they'd be most comfortable in. So one of those opportunities is an ambassadors to cities. Another is the ambassadors to our donor family services. Our donor family services department is really a partner with a lot of our donor families, and we also here at Gift of Hope work very diligently with them as well to continue to provide them support and just a voice or an ear to be listened to when they're feeling the pain of their loss as well. And through that we also are able to communicate that information to our recipient families, who help us as well to really engage with those donor families, to really bring a peace to them with regards to their loss, to know that their loss wasn't in vain, especially when they get to see those recipients, as Olivia mentioned, about her mom being a recipient as well. So those are the great opportunities that we have with our ambassadors, our ambassadors within our donor family services department, as well as our social media. We also know that a lot of our young folks today, they like to be out on social media, and they like to be a part of, Snapchat and a lot of different, social media websites that I'm not even familiar with. But I really encourage you young folks out there to really be a part of this effort, to really communicate and this information to the masses as well.
And I know this is my job, but I always post about Gift of Hope on my social media. I always tell my friends to watch me on CAN TV Channel 21. I always encourage people to register as organ donors on my social media, just for fun, because it's what's important to me. So I don't think of that as doing something extra. I don't really think of that as work. But I guess that is me being an ambassador as a millennial person.
Yes.
So you can share our stories that we have on our social media. You can do a lot of things to support us and encourage us through social media. So, yes, millennials, don't forget about social.
Absolutely. And a couple more that I just want to discuss with you is just become an ambassador to our schools. Many of you will come to know that beginning January 1st of next year, 2017, 16 and 17-year-olds will be eligible to register as organ and tissue donors.
Yep.
Right? Parents will still make that final decision, but it really allows those 16 and 17-year-olds to really express their wishes to their loved ones and to let them know what their desires are. The others is an ambassador to hospitals, to media, as to what Olivia's here doing today with us as well, and also to our currency exchanges departments. We all know that a lot of us don't like to handle our money through apps today, as it's being done by many of the millennials. But a lot of us like to go out to the currency exchanges and handle our business there. But that's another opportunity that we really have here as an ambassador, to really reach out to the community, and there's countless more. But by reaching out to us, we'll be able to inform you of all the other great opportunities that we have as well.
Cool. So thank you. That was so good. Such a great overview. And there are even more buckets than that, but we could be here all evening. So just remember, if you do want to outreach with Gift of Hope, there is somewhere a bucket for you. There is an ambassador group for you. And I actually just want to take this time to give a special thank you to an ambassador that helps me make this program happen every week. He's an ambassador to the media and through Gift of Hope, and his name is Desmond Herring. He is a close family friend. Thank you for being here and being my production assistant each week for CAN TV. He does that just out of the goodness of his heart, just because he's my friend, and this is some good fun experience. So thank you so much, Desmond, for being an ambassador to media. It looks like we have a caller here, so you can go ahead and put him through, Des.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, thanks for calling Let's Talk Donation. What's your name and your question?
Hi, my name is Brenda. I was calling in because I know that you guys are mentioning about signing up online. I just want to know how that process works. Is it on your main website? And do we just wait to hear back from you guys afterwards?
Yeah, cool. Thanks, Brenda. I'm actually glad you brought that up. We wanted to show you guys this evening how it's so easy to register with us on our website. If it'll switch for us, maybe not. It's not going to switch for us tonight, Brenda, but just know that you can go to the Gift of Hope webpage. That's giftofhope.org, and you can go right to the volunteer tab where you can register as a volunteer. I'm going to look at it for you on here. You go to Get Involved, and you go to Volunteer. Nope, we're trying to go to the the PC, not the overhead. PC. There it is. So this is the Gift of Hope webpage, guys. Thanks so much to my production team back there. Y'all are awesome. Go to the Get Involved tab on our page. Go to Volunteer, and then you just go to Volunteer Application. From there, you'll just fill out a little bit of information about yourself, so that we can know about where you live, so that we can suggest events that are close to you. Also, you can be involved in different groups that we have. We actually just kicked off 2 months ago our South Suburban Task Force, which is located, of course, in the South Suburbs, doing outreach out there. But it is a group that meets every third Wednesday at the Flossmoor Library. And each time we meet, we train on more information about how to be a better ambassador for Gift of Hope. We talk about new opportunities that we have coming up to do outreach, and then also take your ideas about where you think we should be outreaching in your community. Like we said, we want it to be really specific to every community. So as you see on this volunteer application, you can put as much or as little as you want in here. You just have to put for sure what is by the asterisk sign. But then you can also put as much information about whether you are a donor family, whether you're a recipient, whether you work in a hospital, how did you learn about this program. So this is just some information for us to help you be the best ambassador that you can be. And of course, all this information is confidential, and Omen will reach right out to you. So again, just go to the Gift of Hope webpage. Let's go back to the home page. And you go to volunteer. Oh, look, hey, there's Vicky and Tanisha. Vicky was our guest last week. Say hey, Vicky.
Hi, Vicky.
Okay, so you go to the Get Involved tab. You go to volunteer, and then you go to volunteer application. And then from there are also a lot of other great resources on our website. Once you're a volunteer, you'll go right here. If you want to do an event, you don't even necessarily have to pick up the phone to call me or Omen. If you want to do an event, it all can go through this webpage right here. There's also a lot of information. If you just wanted to learn more about Gift of Hope or the things that we have going on, definitely check out our website, giftofhope.org. Again, go to the volunteer page and go to volunteer application if you'd like to come work with our ambassadors program. One more thing I'd also like to show you guys while we're on this page is each week our call to action is for you to register as an organ donor if you have not already on your driver's license. If you have not, if you just renewed your driver's license and you didn't say yes and you want to say yes right now, go again on over to giftofhope.org, scroll right on down to the bottom of the page and join the registry. Our mission is simple: to save and enhance the lives of as many people as possible through organ and tissue donation. Join the registry to become a donor. So it's really just that easy, you guys. It's easy to say yes. It's easy to register your intent. And again, this is something you don't think about again until, well, I mean, you don't really think about it again. You just register your intent. It's your intent. It's your will. And if this is your intent, this will be carried out for you. So if my production team can switch it back to us, the U button is not working. Hey, thanks. So again, we have a couple minutes left in the show. So if you have any questions for me or Omen about the volunteer program, our call to action, this week and each week, or I'm sorry, you can call us if you have any questions for us. But our call to action this week and every week is to register your intent as an organ donor on your driver's license if you have not already. If you haven't, go ahead and go on over to giftofhope.org and join the registry that way. And then also a really important call to action that we have this week is to join us as ambassadors. Please, like I said, it's really easy on our website. Just go on over to the volunteer application and join us as a volunteer. There's so many ways you can give back. There's so many ways that you can tell your story and say thank you. Gift of Hope gave my family a platform before we were even saying thank you. So it really just is a great space to, you know, do some community service. If you need some community service hours, if you are a student of the medical profession, we would love to have you. We'd love to come and teach you everything that we know about this industry. So I know Omen's really excited, and I don't know if you want to put out a call to action in Spanish for all of our Latino viewers and listeners, because we need people from every community to help us do this outreach.
Absolutely. As Olivia mentioned, we absolutely need everybody to extend that opportunity out to the communities that they serve and that they live in as well. So if I can just repeat that in Spanish, para toda nuestra comunidad latina, esperamos que se conviertan en embajadores para la organización de Gift of Hope, para convertirse en embajadores para comunicar ese mensaje a toda la comunidad que está en necesidad de escuchar este mensaje que le traerá esperanza a muchas personas que realmente lo necesitan. So, los apoyamos a todos ustedes que tomen esta oportunidad de registrarse como embajadores para la organización de Gift of Hope. Thank you, Olivia.
Thank you so much for coming, Omen, and thank you for being here. And one last time, I just want to ask everyone, have the conversation with your loved ones today. have the conversation with your family. I'm sure there's someone that you know, you don't even realize that they need a life-saving organ and tissue donation, but we know people on dialysis, we know people with heart failure, we know people with liver illnesses, and so all of those things, really the ultimate cure for that is an organ and tissue donation or a life-saving organ donation. And sometimes, I know I mentioned last week, and I just want to say quickly, we don't even think about how tissue affects people every day, and those are the things that are more life-enhancing than life-saving. So I talked about a young man that we met at the Chicago Marathon, and he was getting ready to run his 3rd marathon, and his mother said that he was able to run because he had 3 surgeries in which they used ligament from donated tissue to give his leg the same mobility that it had before whatever accident it was that he had. So the tissue donation is just as important as the organ donation. It's life-saving and life-enhancing, and that is the mission and the message that both Olman and I set out to, share each day, and this is definitely our job. It's more than a 9-to-5 to us. It's something that, that we live and breathe, and it's really, really important to us. So please join our cause, join our team, join our mission, join us as Gift of Hope ambassadors, and we'll show you a good time. We'll teach you things. We probably we'll have some pizza or something. I don't want to promise you pizza, but we usually have some food. So come out and join us. We do a lot of fun things, and like we said, there's something for everyone.
Absolutely, and if you can all join us out, and we established our new South Suburban chapter group out in the South Suburbs. So we really invite you to come out, give me a call, give Olivia a message, or let us know how we can communicate this event to you, and join us for one of our events or one of our meetings that we have on a monthly basis. We do have one out in the city of Chicago, as well as one in the South Suburbs every 3rd Wednesday of the month, as well as every 3rd Monday of the month out in the city of Chicago. So please reach out to us, and let us know that you'd like to attend to one of our meetings.
Yep, and in the city of Chicago, we're right on 26th and Michigan, so that's a pretty centralized location, but we also do trainings all around our service area. So let's say, for instance, you have a group that wants to be trained and they're out in the Waukegan area. We will come out there and do a training for your entire group. No question, no charge, of course. We'll come out there with all the materials and put that on for you. So thank you so much to our caller who called in tonight, Miss Brenda. Thank you for our ambassador that works with us each week. I can't say thank you enough. This show would not be possible without your help. Thank you, Desmond, each week. I love having you, and thank you to my colleague, Olman Shaheen, who is our volunteer coordinator and our guest for this week. So again, if you want to reach out and be a part of our volunteer program, our ambassador program, you can email me at ofox@giftofhope.org, or you can register as a volunteer at giftofhope.org. So I think that's it for our show for tonight. And as always, have the conversation with your loved ones today and register your intent to be an organ donor and really leave a legacy here on this earth when God chooses that it's your time to go. So see you guys next week at 6:30, and thanks for talking to